All right, so today we're going to be looking at some recent developments in cancer treatment,
Okay.
specifically focusing on prostate cancer.
Sounds good.
We have a series of articles that we're pulling from Prostate Warriors that highlight some promising areas of research, and
Okay.
these articles cover both clinical trials with human patients and then also preclinical research that's
Right.
still in the lab stages.
Yeah, it's remarkable to see the progress being made across these different stages of research, from, targeted radiopharmaceuticals to AI-driven drug repurposing and even, development of entirely new compounds.
Right.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, there is a lot. So maybe we can
Sure.
start with the clinical trials, since those are the ones that are closest to potentially impacting patients' lives.
That sounds like a good plan.
So one of the articles discusses a radiopharmaceutical therapy called 67CUSARBI SPSMA.
Okay.
And this has been granted fast-track designation by the FDA for treating metastatic castration-resistant prostate cancer, or
Right.
mCRPC.
Yeah, that designation is a significant step, as it
Yes.
expedites the development and review process for therapies that address serious conditions and unmet medical needs.
Exactly. So, and the FDA's decision was based on positive findings from the ongoing SECURE trial.
Right.
It's a phase 1/2A study evaluating this therapy in PSMA-positive mCRPC patients.
Got it.
And early data from this trial is quite promising,
Yeah.
showing that 73% of participants experienced reductions in their PSA levels, and 45%
Wow.
had reductions greater than 50%.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and the article even highlights a case
Okay.
where a patient achieved a complete response after just 2 doses.
Oh, wow.
And this patient had already undergone several other treatments,
Yeah.
including androgen deprivation therapy, androgen receptor inhibitors chemotherapy, a PARP inhibitor,
Right.
and nothing seemed to work as well as this new therapy.
Well, that's an encouraging anecdote.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's just one case.
Right.
And we need to see more data from the trial.
Of course.
But it's also worth noting that the SECURE trial is investigating different dosing regimens,
Right.
as well as potential combination therapies like combining 67CUSARBI SPSMA with enzalutamide
Okay.
to further improve outcomes.
That makes sense. Another article reports on a real-world study that used data from the FRA-MCAP database
Okay.
to compare 177 lutetium prostate-specific membrane antigen therapy, or Lu-PSMA,
Right.
to Cabazitaxel chemotherapy for treating mCRPC.
Okay, so this study looked at 373 mCRPC patients,
Okay.
with 65% receiving Lu-PSMA, 14% receiving Cabazitaxel, and 21% receiving both therapies.
Interesting. And were the patients similar?
Uh,
So,
The patients in the Lu-PSMA group is older,
okay.
with a median age of 72 compared to 66 in the Cabazitaxel group.
Okay.
And they also had a higher percentage of patients with poorer performance status.
But despite those factors,
Yes.
the study found that Lu-PSMA therapy led to better outcomes.
Exactly. 32% of the Lu-PSMA patients achieved a 50% or greater reduction in PSA levels,
Wow.
while none of the patients in the Cabazitaxel group did.
And in terms of progression-free survival,
Yes.
did those receiving Lu-PSMA have?
They had a median of 13.4 months
Okay.
compared to just 7.1 months for those receiving Cabazitaxel.
That's a pretty substantial difference.
It is indeed. The study also found that patients who received both treatments
Okay.
had a median overall survival of 29.6 months.
Wow. So that suggests that there might be a benefit to combining these therapies?
It might be, yeah, but more research is needed to confirm this.
Of course, moving on to another clinical trial, this one focused on the potential of combination therapy using Cabozantinib and Atezolizumab for advanced prostate cancer.
Right. The article discusses a randomized expansion cohort of the COSMI CO21 trial,
Okay.
which showed promise for this combination, particularly in patients with liver metastases.
The trial involved 101 patients with advanced disease and metastases outside the pelvis.
Right.
And they were randomly assigned to receive either Cabozantinib alone or in combination with Atezolizumab.
Okay, both groups had a median age of 70 years,
Okay.
with about 75% having bone metastases
Got it.
and 20 to 24% having liver metastases.
Okay.
And some patients had also received prior docetaxel chemotherapy.
Okay. So while both groups had similar objective response rates,
Yeah.
20% for Cabozantinib alone
Right.
and 22% for the combination,
Uh-huh.
there was a notable difference in progression-free survival at 12 months.
Correct.
So 25.8% of patients in the combination group were still progression-free at 12 months,
Right.
compared to only 14% in the monotherapy group.
Yeah, perhaps even more striking was the difference in overall survival
Okay.
for patients with liver metastasis.
Okay.
So those who received the combination therapy had a median overall survival of 14.7 months,
Wow.
almost triple the 5 months observed in those receiving cabozantinib alone.
That's a significant improvement,
It is.
particularly for patients with liver metastases,
Right.
who often face limited treatment options.
It's certainly encouraging. The combination group also experienced longer durations of response,
Okay.
fewer instances of disease progression, and extended PSA responses compared to the cabozantinib-only group.
So this suggests that cabozantinib plus atezolizumab could be a valuable treatment option for this specific patient population.
It could be. Of course, more research is needed to confirm these findings and explore potential long-term effects.
Now let's talk about a trial that's investigating a new approach to address treatment resistance in prostate cancer.
Okay, so this phase 2 trial is evaluating ENV105, the monoclonal antibody targeting CD105 in combination with apalutamide
Okay.
for castrate-resistant prostate cancer, or CRPC.
And how does ENV105 work?
So ENV105 works by disrupting the BMP-CD105 signaling pathway.
Okay.
This pathway is involved in resistance to hormone therapy.
Got it.
So by targeting it, ENV105 aims to make tumors more sensitive to these treatments.
That makes sense. The trial is enrolling 100 patients with CRPC who have developed resistance to androgen-targeted therapies.
Right, and a previous study on ENV105 found a promising 62% clinical benefit rate
Wow.
in CRPC patients with limited treatment options.
That's encouraging.
It is, but we'll have to wait for the results of this current trial
Of course.
to see if those benefits hold up in a larger and more rigorously controlled setting.
Right.
Interim safety data from the trial is expected in early 2025.
Okay, so that wraps up the clinical trials discussed in these articles.
Okay,
Let's shift gears and talk about the preclinical research.
sounds good.
One of the articles highlights a promising new development in the treatment of both primary and metastatic bone cancers.
Okay,
And researchers at Aston University and the Royal Orthopaedic Hospital are developing an injectable paste
okay,
that combines gallium, a metal with anti-cancer properties,
right.
and bioactive glass, which aids in bone regeneration.
Interesting approach.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
So what are the results so far?
So laboratory studies have shown a 99% success rate in eliminating cancer cells and promoting bone growth using this paste.
Wow, that's quite impressive.
Yeah.
So, what are the potential benefits of this type of treatment?
Well, since it's an injectable paste, it could be a less invasive treatment option compared to surgery.
Right?
It also has the potential to reduce cancer recurrence, prevent infection, and enhance bone healing,
Right.
all at the same time. Of course, this is still in the preclinical stage,
Of course.
so it will need to go through rigorous testing before it can be used in humans.
Speaking of exciting new approaches, another article discusses how Predictive Oncology Incorporated is using artificial intelligence, or AI,
Right.
to identify potential cancer treatments from existing drugs.
This is a fascinating area of research known as drug repurposing.
Okay.
It involves finding new uses for already approved drugs,
Right.
which can be much faster and less expensive than developing new drugs from scratch.
That makes sense. So how does their AI platform work?
It's been trained on a data set of nearly 1,000 drug-tumor interactions,
Okay.
and it can analyze this data to identify promising candidates for treating various cancers, including ovarian, colon, and breast cancers.
And has it been successful in identifying any potential candidates?
Yes, in fact, 2 of the drugs identified by the platform outperformed a standard colon cancer treatment in early testing.
Wow.
This is a major validation of their approach
Okay.
and highlights the power of AI in drug discovery.
So what's next for predictive oncology?
They are currently seeking partnerships with pharmaceutical companies to advance these promising candidates into clinical trials.
Okay.
If successful, this AI-powered approach could revolutionize how we discover and develop new cancer treatments.
Absolutely. Finally, let's talk about a groundbreaking development in the field of genetic engineering
Yeah.
that could have far-reaching implications for cancer research and treatment.
Okay.
This article focuses on EVO2 AI, a powerful tool for designing genomes and predicting mutations
Okay.
that was developed by the ARSI Institute, NVIDIA, and leading universities.
Got it.
It's based on the StripHina-2 architecture, which allows it to process long genetic sequences up to 1 million nucleotides long in a single pass.
Wow, that sounds incredibly advanced.
It does.
Yeah.
How does EVO2 compare to other AI tools in this field?
So, unlike traditional transformer models that struggle with memory and computational limitations,
Right.
EVO2 leverages Fourier and convolutional techniques to extend its context window.
Okay.
It can operate at the genetic level itself,
Okay.
designing new sequences and modifying genomes for applications in medicine, agriculture, and biotechnology.
So this sets it apart from something like AlphaFold, which focuses on predicting protein structure
Exactly.
based on genetic information.
Right, EVO2 is working with the genetic code itself.
Exactly. And it's already demonstrating remarkable accuracy.
It is.
So, for example, it can identify potentially pathogenic BRCA1 gene variants, distinguishing between benign and harmful mutations with over 90% accuracy.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is. What other capabilities does EVO2 have?
It can also generate entire bacterial-scale genomes, including essential components like tRNA and rRNA genes.
Okay.
And it can even create entirely new biological mechanisms such as transposons or genetic switches that activate only in specific cell types.
Wow, what are the potential implications of this technology for cancer research?
The possibilities are vast.
Yeah.
EVO2 could be used to create bioengineered crops that are resistant to diseases and climate change,
Right.
optimize microbes for industrial processes, and develop new forms of gene therapy. It could even pave the way for personalized medicine and the design of synthetic organisms.
It sounds like EVO2 has the potential to revolutionize multiple fields.
It really does.
It's incredible to think how far research has come.
It truly is, and as with any powerful technology, we need to consider the ethical implications
Of course.
and ensure that it's used responsibly.
That's an important point to keep in mind as we move forward with these advancements.
Absolutely.
But for now, let's take a moment to reflect on all the incredible progress we've discussed today.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it's also incredibly inspiring to see the dedication and ingenuity driving this field forward. It really does highlight the incredible strides being made in cancer research. These advancements we've discussed today offer a glimpse into a future where treatment is more personalized, effective, and hopefully less burdensome for patients.
It's inspiring to see how these researchers are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. I mean, so much has changed even in just the last few years.
Absolutely. And it's not just about developing new treatments, it's also about understanding the complexities of cancer at a deeper level, which allows for more targeted and effective interventions.
So out of all the clinical trials that we discussed, what stood out to you the most?
Well, the case of the patient who achieved complete remission after just 2 doses of 6,7-CUSA RBI SPSMA was certainly remarkable,
Yeah.
especially considering that this patient had already exhausted several other treatment options.
Right. It really highlights the potential of theranostics.
Yeah,
Combining diagnostic imaging with targeted therapy allows for a level of precision that wasn't possible before.
absolutely. And the fact that the SECURE style is exploring different dosing regimens and potential combination therapies
Mm-hmm.
is also encouraging.
Right.
It suggests that researchers are constantly looking for ways to optimize treatment and improve patient outcomes.
The real-world study comparing Lu-PSMA therapy to Cabazitaxel was also quite impactful.
It was.
Seeing such a significant difference in progression-free survival, even though the Lu-PSMA group had older patients with poorer performance status, speaks volumes about the effectiveness of this targeted therapy.
It really does. It underscores the importance of moving beyond the one-size-fits-all approach to cancer treatment.
Right.
What works for one patient may not work for another, and we need to tailor therapies based on individual needs and characteristics.
And it's not just about individual patients. The COSMIC-021 trial showed that combination therapy with Cabozantinib and Atezolizumab could be particularly beneficial for patients with liver metastases. And this subgroup often faces a poorer prognosis, so seeing such a dramatic improvement in overall survival is a major step forward.
Absolutely. It highlights the potential of combination therapies to address specific challenges in cancer treatment. By strategically combining different drugs, researchers can target multiple pathways and enhance treatment efficacy.
And the Phase 2 trial investigating ENV-105 in combination with apalutamide is also an important step towards tackling treatment resistance.
Yes.
This is a major hurdle in cancer therapy, and finding ways to overcome it could have a significant impact on patient outcomes.
For sure, targeting the BMPC D105 signaling pathway is a promising approach.
Right?
It could potentially resensitize tumors to hormone therapies that had previously stopped working.
Now let's talk about the preclinical research, which offers a glimpse into what the future of cancer treatment might hold. The injectable paste being developed for bone cancers is a fascinating example of innovation in this field.
Yeah, combining gallium with bioactive glass is a clever approach.
It is.
Not only does it target cancer cells, but it also promotes bone regeneration, which is crucial for patients with bone tumors or metastases.
And a 99% success rate in preclinical studies is impressive.
It is very impressive.
Of course, we need to see how this translates to human trials, but it's certainly a promising start.
Agreed. And the potential benefits are significant, less invasive treatment, reduced risk of recurrence infection prevention, enhanced bone healing. It could be a game changer for patients with bone cancers.
The use of AI for drug repurposing is another area where we're seeing incredible progress. Predictive Oncology's platform has already identified potential candidates that have outperformed standard treatments in early testing.
Right. That's a testament to the power of AI to analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns that humans might miss.
Right.
It could significantly accelerate the drug discovery process and bring new treatments to patients faster.
And we can't forget about EVO2 AI, which has the potential to revolutionize not just cancer research, but also multiple other fields.
Yeah.
Its ability to design genomes and predict mutations at such a granular level opens up a world of possibilities.
Absolutely. From personalized medicine to sustainable biotechnology and even the design of synthetic organisms, the implications are far-reaching.
It's mind-boggling to think that we now have tools that can manipulate the very building blocks of life.
It's both exciting and daunting. We need to proceed with caution and ensure that these technologies are used responsibly and ethically.
Absolutely. But at the same time, we shouldn't shy away from exploring their potential. These advancements could lead to breakthroughs that we can't even imagine right now.
That's the beauty of scientific discovery. It's a constant journey of exploration and innovation, and who knows what the future holds.
Well, this deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about, from cutting-edge clinical trials to groundbreaking preclinical research. It's clear that the field of cancer treatment is rapidly evolving.
It really is, and it's all driven by a shared goal
Right.
to improve patient outcomes and ultimately find a cure for this devastating disease.
As we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listener with a final thought.
With all these advancements happening at such a rapid pace, it's important to remember that progress doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Right?
These breakthroughs are the result of years of dedicated research collaboration and an unwavering commitment to finding solutions.
So as you continue to learn and explore the world of cancer research, remember to appreciate the human element behind these advancements.
Absolutely. It's the passion, dedication, and ingenuity of countless individuals that's driving us towards a brighter future for cancer patients everywhere. Yeah, it's a powerful reminder that science is ultimately a human endeavor,
Right.
driven by a desire to understand and improve the world around us.
And in the case of cancer research, it's a desire to alleviate suffering and offer hope to millions of people worldwide.
Speaking of hope, these advancements also raise important questions about the future of cancer treatment.
What kind of questions?
Well, for example, as personalized medicine becomes more sophisticated, how do we ensure equitable access to these treatments?
Right.
The costs associated with genetic testing, targeted therapies, and other personalized interventions can be significant.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. We need to make sure that these advancements don't exacerbate existing health disparities.
Exactly. And then there are the ethical considerations surrounding genetic engineering and the potential for unintended consequences.
Yeah, it's crucial to have open and transparent discussions about these issues as these technologies continue to evolve.
Absolutely. We need to engage with diverse perspectives and ensure that these advancements are used responsibly and for the benefit of all.
Well, this deep dive has given us a lot to think about, from the intricacies of clinical trials to the potential of preclinical research. It's clear that the field of cancer treatment is on the cusp of a new era.
It is, and it's an era that's filled with both promise and challenges.
As we conclude this deep dive, let's leave our listener with a final thought to ponder.
Given the rapid pace of advancements in cancer research and the potential for these technologies to fundamentally change how we approach treatment, what role do you envision for yourself in shaping this future?
Whether it's through advocating for policies that promote equitable access to healthcare supporting research efforts, or simply staying informed about the latest developments, each of us can play a part in making this vision a reality.
Well, thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration into the world of cutting-edge cancer therapies.
We hope you found it informative, thought-provoking, and ultimately empowering.
Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep learning.